the Seamaster 2019 ITTV World Tour Platinum Qatar Open, coming to you live from Doha, Qatar. I'm your commentator, Adam Bobro, and I'm thrilled to be here to witness this match. It is the captain, the dragon, the dictator, Ma Long in red with his welcome back tournament, representing China, the greatest country in table tennis that the world has known for decades and decades. But Germany on the other side, world ranked #1 last year, with two players, Dmitry Ovtcharov and TIMO Boll, at the top of the food chain. TIMO Boll, 4 times world #1, very well respected and famous throughout China, known as Boll, has been with the power headband, the bandana on, and has been playing some incredible table tennis from just after the Olympic Games, I'd say 2017, where he beat Ma Long in the Men's World Cup. TIMO Boll has just shot back up in popularity around the world. He's incredible to watch, from his hand switching to his lobbing to his diving. I mean, anything you can imagine, TIMO Boll can make happen. TIMO Magic Boll, 38 years old. Just this month, turned 38. Wait a minute. 39. Is that? Hold up a minute. Get back to you on that. Either way, TIMO Boll, for his 4th time, was #1 in the world in March of 2018, where he turned 38. 2019, there we go. Anyway, TIMO Boll in the first round had a very solid performance yesterday. Ma Long starting off a bit slow, to be honest. He's coming back from some serious injuries between his knee, his hip, his neck. This is the first time we've seen him playing singles since Bulgaria, where Liam Pitchford beat him last year. World rank #12. He's the 11th seed in the tournament. 30 years old, the young father. 2018 China Open, you saw on screen there. Ma Long is known to be the most versatile, the most complete player in the game. If you're following ITTF's Instagram, you might have seen a post just yesterday, I believe, maybe the day before, showing him warming up in the practice hall. And between his match play and that practice video, looked a lot slower than usual. Now, both of these players know what it's like to be injured. TIMO Boll, world rank #5, the 4th seed, 38 years old. There you go. So some quarterfinals, semifinals, round of 16 at the World Tour Grand Finals. Those don't tell the story of how strong he's been. Just had an amazing league match over Fang Boll. One of the best matches of the year. Ibrahim right there, our umpire for the match. Always good to see him here at the Qatar Open. So one thing about TIMO Boll, not just his unconventional technique or the fact that he's so creative, his spin variation is unrivaled. Riyad Badr Shahib, our assistant umpire for the match. Figured I'd start reading it earlier before the letters were gone. So these two have been a pair, a duo, to play doubles at the World Championships together. But they are also outstanding rivals over the years. TIMO Boll, often older and more experienced than the coach in the corner for Ma Long, which is crazy to say about a player who's 30 years old and arguably the greatest of all time. Here we go, the dictator with the serve. Quickly turned right back down the line. TIMO Boll testing out the footwork. Now, we've seen Ma Long come back from way down. Again, it's only the first point of the match, but still sort of testing the waters here. Attempted change of pace from TIMO, slowing it down in the second ball. Now, this is something that Ma Long is also excellent at in general, allowing the opponent to get the first attack and then springing. Now, from the start of this match, if you watched Ma Long's match yesterday against Tristan Flor, the first 2 games, he looked incredibly slow compared to usual, very tentative. So I'm curious to see, by game 3, he really started to spring into the ball a bit, play a little bit stronger with the confidence and the freedom that he had from 2015 on. But for me, it was this man right here, TIMO Boll, who really broke into the confidence and cracked open the piñata in the sense of letting foreigners get the best of Ma Long. TIMO Boll, one of the last 3 to do it. The others being Tomokazu Harimoto and Liam Pitchford. Before TIMO was Jung Sang-un of Korea. In a best of 5, I believe, 3-1 at an ATTU event. So Ma Long with some quick points here, up 4-2. Now, I was mentioning the spin variation. TIMO can generate a whole lot of spin. More so than even most players at this level are comfortable to deal with. He's very deceptive in his contact. And despite the perfect length, nearly perfect length of this serve, Ma Long waits patiently and recognizes that he'll be able to very thinly contact the ball from the back edge of the table. It's a little bit more like Ma Long's regular pace, taking control with the backhand. Now, while his backhand isn't nearly as big as his forehand, I think it's still a very strong weapon for him, very compact. Right after saying that, he gives one of the biggest backhand strokes I've ever seen from Ma Long. Still just not looking so comfortable with his body right now to get the feet quite in position. That first backhand that he took sent him back and off balance. TIMO Boll down by 2. Slower, spinnier shot. Now, one of the many things that makes TIMO Boll so effective is his ability to recognize weaknesses in the opponent. He's not afraid to play soft shots. They don't have to be glamorous. Tripped up a little bit on the crossover. Ma Long taking advantage there. Fast opening and another one right off the bounce on the forehand. Good combination play with a little hesitation from Ma Long. TIMO will be looking for ways to break patterns, surprise Ma Long, force him to improvise, take a little bit more time. Good length here, shortens it up. TIMO keeping it just inside the table. You could see Ma Long's weight was back. He had to lunge forward. So cool to see that jersey out here, to see Ma Long playing once again after about a 6-month break. He's on the world tour in singles.
6-8.
Perfect placement deep to the corner, waits patiently. Now, one thing that top-level players do I'd say very impressively well is recognize the movement of the opponent and factor that in with their peripheral. They're watching the ball. He fools him with the serve, catches him creeping in for the backhand over the forehand side. A moment of stress as Ma Long exhales. 2-point game here. Fast long serve does it right at the baseline. Ma Long used to do this serve to ace right-handed players. For righty returning the corner here, same could have happened. Doesn't show where he's going, takes the risk, and it pays off for Ma Long. Very soft receive to shorten up the ball like that after such a fast serve. TIMO's hands. One more time. Just crazy how fast that serve is and low to the net, still to keep it inside the table. Oh, just missing the back of the table. It's game point to the dictator. Ma Long 1 point away from getting the first in the bag here. Again, it's a long way to go, especially for someone overcoming injury. Both of these players only have 1 match to their name so far, to their credit in terms of warm-up in the tournament. TIMO keeps Ma Long pinned in the backhand corner away from the table. A little bit more security on the shot. Spinning early in the point. Not going for broke. Knows that he has less to worry about with Ma Long way behind the table. Now, Ma Long has been known to pull out a big backhand. But again, it takes the whole body's support. So here we are at deuce in game number 1. Middle of the table, a little bit soft, and Malone quick to turn, finds the opening, earns himself game point. Again, from this angle, you really see the ball doesn't look so easy. From up above, it seems sort of like a slow, soft shot. TIMO down. And the quality forehand attack of Malone, and the forehand to backhand rally against TIMO. It's Malone who takes game number 1. Starting off on the right foot, Malone leading 1-0 against TIMO Boll. Will be back for game number 2 right after this. Back for game number 2, TIMO Boll with the serve down 0-1.
1 love.
Inside out forehand from Malone for the point. TIMO Boll looking a little bit disheveled at the moment, a little bit out of sorts. Malone can have that effect on players. But much like Harimoto, making the first ball count with a short stroke. And it feels weird to say that just because of how long Malone has been dictating the game and been on top of the world. Beautiful backhand from TIMO, closing out on the counter. But in terms of world ranking, to see Malone world ranked number 12 doesn't even sound right. It was like the Men's World Cup when he was on the 3rd place podium for the bronze medal. Just seems out of sorts. But between TIMO coming back to win at the Men's World Cup in 2017, other players getting the best of Malone, and his time away from the scene on injury, naturally the world ranking will drop. Good work here, good control from TIMO. Again, a bit more of a responsive, reactive game here. Along with the fast long serve to get quickly into the rally. A little bit behind the table. While Malong's taking the bigger strokes, still allows TIMO the time to predict where the ball is going. I was starting to mention earlier that TIMO Boll against Fang Boll having his most impressive match. Well, a very impressive match. I was going to say most impressive match recently anyway. Getting revenge from Fang Boll's previous victory. That length of serve. Wasn't too long ago we saw TIMO Boll versus Dmitry Ovtcharov, turning to serve with his backhand. The China Open final a few years back. Driven back behind the table a little bit much here, going for that big backhand counter. TIMO Boll's backhand bending out to the forehand has made highlight reels for a long time now against Ma Long. But he's going to do what he can to stay a little bit closer, get the first opening attack. Pops it up just a little too high, trying to keep it short. And Ma Long does a good job of taking advantage of the opportunity from over the table. Let service. TIMO very quick to say sure. Just like the shot where he dove against Lin Gaoyuan, he said, well, might as well. You got to play it until you know the point's over. That was the apology, but my bad. Despite a bit of side spin on the flick from over the table, TIMO Boll forced into a more passive position after the counter here from Ma Long. Inside my mind, the ITTF video about Ma Long, there's Coach Jorg Roskopf in the corner. Olympic medalist, world champion in doubles with Stefan Fetzner, changing the game in Germany. Oh, TIMO off balance on one foot, plays it back down the line. He thought the point was over and comes out with this miraculous shot on one foot. Not only does he make the shot, he makes it with placement. That one right there, forcing Ma Long to just scoop it up. And that's when he quickly seizes the space at the back of the table, moves right back in. And there's that humble look of respect for the opponent from TIMO. Cracking backhand. Ma Long with the power. TIMO Boll's come back from down quite a bit. But again, early in the match, the pressure needs to be real. Ma Long in game number 3 yesterday is when he came to life for me. Quick backhand, and he's choleing. We've got some vocalization here. Ma Long getting fired up, finding the energy. He did win game number 1. Coming into this match, despite their head-to-head record being 15-4 favoring Ma Long, that's more than 75% success rate. Despite all of that, from what I've seen of TIMO lately and what I've seen of Ma Long lately, which hasn't been much, just because I haven't seen him much and I've seen him warming up slowly, I would have favored TIMO Boll coming into this match, but that is part of the thrill of Ma Long. You just never really know. Fan Zhendong had beaten Ma Long 3 times out of 3 attempts in Chinese Super League, but on the World Tour, only once out of 14 attempts. Well, there it is. Ma Long 11-7 secures himself a second game. In the replay, you'll see it here. Soft spinny one, and Ma Long turns the corner, and it pays off. 2-0, the dictator dictates, and we'll be back for game number 3, TIMO Boll versus Ma Long right after this. Back for game number 3. Ma Long to start off with the serve, leading 2-0 here against TIMO Boll.
Love.
To think that only one of these players will continue. It's the round of 16, and one of them will be knocked out of the tournament. It's a shame that we can't see them both continue or meet in the final. Oh, deep on the table. Ma Long keeping it right at the baseline. TIMO Boll very focused on not backing off the table. Tries to play it right off the bounce. Easier said than done. Well, Ma Long's focus right now, just laser-like. His attention to detail in terms of countering the spin. Look how low that shot is. Ma Long finishing up near the left shoulder on that counter. That's a forehand that feels pretty confident the ball's not coming back. Taking a little bit of a risk. Very impressive shot here from TIMO, for Ma Long to scoop it from down under the table and still keep it so low and spinny. Okay, from this angle you could see the height a little better. Sits up just a little bit. Still not an easy ball. One thing that's made TIMO so effective against the top Chinese over the years is his timing. Tends to take it a little bit earlier than most. And jumping with the backhand in the middle here. TIMO able to spin it deep. There's one. Just a little slower shot. It seemed like because it was out in front, he wasn't able to play quite the power he wanted, so the ball stays low with heavy spin out in front of Ma Long. Good rhythm break from TIMO. Having talked to Xu Xin at the Hungarian Open about Ma Long, I didn't expect to see so many other Chinese players at this tournament. I was told Ma Long would be here, but he's not alone. And no matter what the road has lying ahead for him, it's going to be a tough road no matter what. Quite successful here so far against TIMO Boll. Heavy underspin on the pendulum serve. It's not a fancy looking serve. That's the thing, is it's so unassuming. It just walks into the room and then steals everything you have on the receive. But this one comes a little bit longer. TIMO able to load it up with some spin. Keep the pressure on Ma Long. That little twist from Ma Long right after the point of contact makes it very difficult to read how much spin and what spin is on his serve. Oh, nice combination here. Parallel and then wide out to the forehand side. TIMO Boll playing the quick pattern. Think about how crazy that is. He doesn't know where the ball's going. He has his ideas. At this level of play, against Ma Long, to be in position for such a quick shot. But not moving in quite enough on this one. TIMO missing the contact. Again, the in and outs of table tennis, moving in and out. So difficult. It's one of those factors that maybe if you're not playing tournaments regularly, or even if you are up to a certain level, Ma Long can identify. That was some very funky spin from Ma Long over the table. The way it came off his racket, we would have seen an apology had it hit the hand. Watch this shot. Just cradles, takes it right off the bounce. A little bit of side and underspin. And this is the type of score line it's going to be very difficult for TIMO. And domination in game number 3. The opponents keep getting tougher and Ma Long keeps getting better. He's just getting coal in the engine here, starting to get fired up. Game number 4, Ma Long leads 3-0 over TIMO Boll. Don't go anywhere. Game 4 coming up right after this. for game number 4. TIMO Boll with the serve on his side. And a whole lot on the to-do list. Needs to find some answers to shut down Ma Long. Incredible rally. I'm watching this the entire time thinking this isn't how it's going to happen. He's playing more passively. He's in the blocking position. This is like Ma Long against Fan Zhendong in the final of 2017's World Championships in Dusseldorf. Ma Long finds the escape, the wide angle, just out of reach of TIMO's forehand. What confidence it takes, like in the first point, for TIMO to play such a reactive game with short strokes, only to wait for the opportunity that Ma Long slows down a little bit. Nice change, a little more shallow and slow on the table. TIMO again breaking the rhythm of Ma Long. You can see where that ball bounced, just behind the net, maybe about a quarter of the way to the baseline. Clever idea once again, but Ma Long brings the quality on the forehand, as he does. It's a very Ma Long thing to do in terms of forehands. Obviously, it doesn't stop there. Table tennis. But that forehand again, the ball just creeping off the back of the table, and Ma Long spinning it up, getting as much of a piece of the ball as he can on that opening forehand. And it's more than enough. And the deep push. Surprise, surprise. Ma Long keeping it unpredictable. TIMO probably has, well, there can't be many players in the game. I'd say maybe 2 or 3 on his level of anticipation, with maybe Vladi Samsonov, maybe Ma Long the other. Tough to say, but to fool TIMO is very difficult. And once again, fool, just a bare hand in place. That is it. The twist that Ma Long's able to get, and he recovers quickly. Now we're seeing Ma Long during the timeout here for TIMO's side. We're seeing Ma Long looking the way he has looked from 2015 through 2017. He's starting to get that confidence. Again, had a chance to chat with some of the players, coaches here when I came in. Games 1 and 2 yesterday, Ma Long looked like a player who knew he was injured and couldn't afford to risk long-term injury. Now he's looking like a guy who has no concern. So the timeout should be on TIMO's side, as Ma Long, it seems unlikely, would call a timeout after winning 3 points in a row, or whatever it's been now, leading 5-2 and 3-0. Wouldn't be the best use of a timeout in theory. Pretty tough to imagine, but Ma Long starting to run away, as well as TIMO has been playing in the last 2 years. Nothing but international respect for TIMO Boll.
2-6.
But Ma Long may be in a different category. Olympic gold medalist in 2016 in singles. Looking to do the same in Tokyo 2020 if he can. Just missing the contact on the last one. Ma Long with some very impressive shots in this rally. TIMO Boll gets the ball back on the table for every one of them. That shot was so difficult. Again, right behind the net and spinny. TIMO able to close and reach out in front to get into the rally. Good placement to the middle. Little bit of confusion here. Ma Long shaking his head. So 2/3 of the points since the timeout have gone TIMO's way. Sometimes timeouts take a little bit of time. Hina Hayata and Mima Ito not in this match. Whoa, neither is Ding Ning or Wang Manyu. Alrighty. Surprises everywhere. This is exciting. So TIMO using that spin, that wristy backhand from over the table. So consider Ma Long the player on top right now in this men's singles event. TIMO going for a crisper, more aggressive shot. Just not finding the answers. I mean, he had been for a while, down 2-6, gets 3 in a row, second towel break as their names come back. TIMO's still in a much better position than he was at the timeout. It's always a bit of a gamble, the shot you take. Will the opponent recognize it? Is it something I can confidently make? Well, TIMO here with a very confident backhand goes for the rocket right off the bounce. It's funny, I've seen him in 2 league matches without the bandana. As soon as he got it back, he got his revenge. There is some power, it seems, even if it's simply mental. Oh, beautiful shot. Marlon calibrating and clobbering that shot to the short side of the table. Makes it look easy when it is anything but. TIMO's spin, that shot right there, has been causing problems internationally around the world for decades. And Marlon, like batting practice, like a drill, drives through it. Flick goes long. TIMO starting to run out of emergency kit supplies. 3 points out in front, a second serve, and a chance for 4 game and match points for the dictator. Marlon changing the pace, and TIMO Boll hanging in there, giving it back soft as well. There it is, the soft block, just a little bit out in front. Playing against a player as fast and as strong as Marlon, it's got to be intimidating, quite scary to play the ball soft, but that's the confidence and the wisdom of TIMO. Down by 2 here, sizing up the opponent to see what he brings on the serve. TIMO Boll, not even touched. Look at this. He wasn't even looking. He wasn't even looking. Yeah, just one. You say that, but it keeps happening, TIMO. Oh, worth the price of admission. Gets him within 1 point.
8-9.
Oh, man, I'm in love. Table tennis, marry me. TIMO Boll within 1. No matter who wins, just keep the match going.
Let 8-9.
Oh, man. Oh, what a tough follow-up to the point before. That's the type of points, it's 7-9, that you win, and it scars an opponent. Marlon not phased, keeps his composure. But still, the body language of Marlon, the head down a little bit. He's focused. It is 2 game and match points. And the regime continues. The dictator holds his position. He'd have it no other way. Marlon with a very impressive performance. After yesterday, I will say this was quite a shocking step up for Marlon. And while TIMO Boll wasn't able to get a game, I'm pretty confident if we didn't just see the #1 point of the tournament, we definitely saw a top 10. But congratulations, Marlon, on passing the next test here at the Qatar Open through to the quarterfinals. Once again, the captain, the dragon, the dictator. Flawless, 4-0, bagels TIMO Boll. So he will continue on, and the world will have the pleasure of watching Marlon continue. Tough day at the office for TIMO. He'll think about it for a few moments. He had that point. Is that what he was laughing at? Did Rossi just say, well, you had that shot? 7-9 down. A face the world loves. One of the greatest sportsmen the world has ever known, and possibly the greatest of all time, walking off right now to debrief, to breathe a little bit, and get ready for the next round. But first, paying respects to the fans in the crowd. You should be here on the World Tour, whether it's a selfie or an autograph. You'll have the chance, and I can tell you, everyone who sees this live finds it life-changing. Once you've seen it live, you can't go back. Stick around. We've got more matches to follow. Stay right here. You're watching the 2019 ITTF World Tour Platinum Qatar Open.